Alright, man. We are live. Check the time.
Peace, what's going on, J. Rod D?
G,
You now tuned into the Poor Life Podcast.
hosted by none other than
Nuance. We got a very special guest in the building today.
Very special, man. Very special.
Impactful,
Wow energy.
powerful,
Super intelligent, man. Wordplay. What?
a model,
Man, like, role model and, like, Calvin Klein model.
stand-up guy,
Yeah, man.
phenomenal poet. We have Just Me.
Just Me is in the
What's
building.
going on, Just Me?
Man.
What's going on? Definitely very respected in the game. Myself and G included, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We've been talking to OTP over the poet very frequently, and he's been shouting you out and bigging you up all the time, bro.
Yeah, that's the
We're
bro.
always speaking about you. You know, you gave him a shot. You know, saying you always point him in the right direction. Yeah, man, that was a mentor. That was good to see that for him. You know what I mean? So, you know, how have you been? What's going on with you?
I'm blessed, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got a few things in the work
Mm-hmm.
with Just Me Entertainment as far as taking this thing to the next level. And when I say next level, just pretty much expanding.
Yes, sir.
I mean, because it's always been, it's not just poetry for me. You know, it's overall building the community.
Yes, sir.
You know, and that's the reason. Anytime I've ever facilitated any event that I've ever done, that's always been my focus.
Mm.
Is building the community. Like when I was doing Just Wine, Cheese, and Poetry. When I was doing Soul Food and Poetry. When I did Soul Food Sundays. And now I'm doing Nipsey's Poetry Night at Nipsey's every second Thursday of the month.
Mm.
It's always about the community. It's all about having a space where artists and art lovers can come and just pretty much congregate and build, be inspired. You know, I mean, that's one of the reasons I don't charge, because I feel like you shouldn't have to charge for that. You know, I feel like that's the payment right there.
Okay.
That's the payment for me, just to have that space and have that energy and be able to build and grow the community. Because if you do that, I mean, you're definitely gonna grow into something greater than a couple of dollars that you may make on a poetry night. You know.
Yeah. So, did you start off with that mentality?
It's always been that mentality, but it's also a business.
Okay.
It's a business side of this, and being an artist and on the business side of it, you're always gonna have conflict. Especially myself, because I'm a giver, and I'm always wanting to give. But as long as you're willing to give, somebody willing to take. So you gotta be careful with that in this business, because people take advantage of you, which is the reason that is one of the reasons that I operate the way I operate. You know, a lot of closed doors in my face, a lot of no's, and not because the talent wasn't there, not because the consistency wasn't there, just because we just don't want you to. We don't want to see you. You're not the one we want to do it with. We don't want to see you succeed. Now we're not featuring you because we just don't want to feature you.
Yeah.
You know, or you're not a part of our clique. So I always say, I want to be inclusive.
Okay.
And that's a reason, because you may go to a club, you hanging out, and you see all these VIP sections, and everybody's exclusive. You know, they exclude themselves from what they're really excluding themselves from the energy and the fun. You know, and I always want to be inclusive. Like I want that spot where you can just like cheers, like you walk in and everybody knows your name, like you feel good, your heart feel good. You having a bad day and you come here and you're like, yeah, I feel good. That's the energy I want. You know, I want to create friendships. I want to create business relationships, whatever it may be. You know, to be able to present that opportunity for people, that's my payment. But again, it's a business.
How you keep that balance, man?
It's tough. It's tough, but you gotta have you can't be everybody's friend. And I had to learn that. I had to learn that the hard way. You can't. It is what it is. Like, don't shortchange yourself. And I'm not gonna say I don't do it to this day, but if you feature and you charge $300 or whatever you charge to feature, that's what you charge to feature. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's your price.
Okay.
Don't shortchange yourself, because either I'm going to pay it or I'm not going to pay it. You know, that's what it is. And what happens is, in the poetry community, and I think this is one of the biggest reasons that it's not reached a level of financial compensation.
Why's that?
Because Nuance might go somewhere, right? And y'all charge $500 traveling and everything. Y'all traveling, and our price is $500 to feature. Okay. Now you got just me, or if the poet come and say, "All right, man, I do it for $150." You see what I'm saying? So now Nuance is coming like, this is my price. So now they're like, man, well, so and so did it for $150 and y'all charging $500. Well, we'll just go get this other poet over here and he's gonna do it for $150. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, a rapper, comedian, or whatever will come, and my price is $1,500 for a song. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the price. And they'll pay it because they demand it. This is what we charge, man.
So you think it's like it's their audience that they're trying to sell tickets? You know what I'm saying? Is it something like that, or is it just like the fact that there's two different levels to the art, the genre?
No, I don't think it is. I just think you just gotta stay consistent, and you gotta demand what you want, because people will pay for. Like, I look at sometimes and people ask me questions like, man, Poetry Night Initiative. They be like, man, oh my gosh, the show was so dope. And I'm like, damn, I wonder if they even realize this is an open mic. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The level of talent that you're getting, the type of show that you're getting at an open mic, at Pure Poetry, the type of art that you're getting should be paid for.
No doubt.
But it takes the artist to really say, you know what? At a certain point, just like any other job, you got to know your worth. You got to know your worth. Don't be scared to put that ticket price out there. You're going to hear a lot of no's. You're going to hear a lot of no's, but somebody's going to say yes. And then you got to be smart about it, because, I mean, like, business is anything. You got to be smart. You got to be willing to negotiate. Like, I'm not going to charge $500 to an open mic. They got to set feature price. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm putting on a major production, and you selling tickets at $20 at the door, and you want me to open up, and you got 1,000 people out here, and you telling me, well, all I can pay you is $50 and you can eat. What? Come on, man. And if you take that and I can't eat exposure. That's the business side of it. You see what I'm saying? But see, the artist in you is going to be like, I want to do it, because you just love the perform. You love the energy. You get high off that. But and it's easy to sell exposure to you.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking to myself, like, it's easy. Like, you can come to me and say, yeah, can you perform here for me? It takes a lot for me to say no to a performance.
Okay.
And I've had to say no before. But it takes a lot, because I'm an artist first, and I just want to do it. I want the energy. You know, it's to the point now, like, you ain't got to tell me about exposure. I'm cool, man. I'll come. I'll do it. When I shouldn't. You see what I'm saying? The business side, you shouldn't. McDonald's ain't giving away burgers.
Right.
They're not going to try to convince you that you should get this burger. They're going to put their price, they're going to do the commercial, and you're going to come try it out. If you're not, you're just not.
Right.
You know?
So you do it for love.
You do it for the love.
Right.
But it's also a business.
Sure.
You know, it's also a business, and that's the conflict
Yeah.
that I feel any artist is they're gonna have a tough time with. You know, but you really gotta, and that's what comes. You need a team. You really need a team.
There we go, about to bring. Okay, cool.
You need a
Keep
team.
building that for a second, bro.
Huh?
Keep building that for a second.
And you need to get some people around you that really believe in what you do. They gotta really believe in what you do. They gotta be your best hype man. They're not enablers though. They're not gonna sit here and just be yes men. But they believe in you. They keeping you tight, keeping the tight shit. Like you need somebody to say, look, I'm handling the budget. I'm booking all your shows. I'm negotiating the prices. You got to take yourself out of that because people see you as an artist. So you the artist and they like, man, Just Me told me no. Or Just Me was kind of rude. But you weren't rude. You just been, you know, direct. Like, this is what I charge to do this, and this is how much this costs. And they looking at it as like, damn, I'm used to the Just Me that's like always smiling or, you know, greeting me. They looking for the host. They looking for the entertainer all the time. So you gotta remove if you're trying to go to the next level, you have to remove yourself from that because you're not gonna be able to do it because you're not gonna be liked. You know, you need that Dame Dash Jay-Z effect. You know what I mean? Like Dame would say, no, this is how we eat. You know, oh, forget that. Sorry about that. You know, this is how we eat.
Appreciate the passion, brother.
But you get Jay, and he's sitting back like, man, you gotta talk to him about that, you know? I'm just here to do the show.
Right.
You know, you gotta remove yourself.
I'm with you. So you think reputation also is important?
Yeah, very important.
And then, like, would you say, like, representation is also those people who, you know, listen to your art and then they become, like, mouthpieces, too? Because that's, like, I feel like the fan base is also representation because you don't necessarily look for a specific person and what they look like. You're not trying to reach one, like, specific culture of people. But it's just that when you get out there and you have people who represent you or who just enjoy what you're saying, they then become like, oh, you know, like canvassers almost, or saying like, oh yeah, y'all gotta check out Just Me, y'all gotta check out Nuance, because they really, you know. And so it's almost like you gotta watch what you put out there too, because the evolution of your art is real too, and the evolution of your fan base is real. You know, taking point how music goes. You know, Kendrick Lamar, like one of them, none of them folk up on the Grammys. Skybox was really listening to him when he first came out. Probably it was when he started really making noise, and you know his wordplay elevated, and his content started touching on things that, you know, everybody, I don't care how old you were, what race you were, like I think he got more people just from like breaking down the barriers of like, okay, this is where I'm from, but this is not where I'm staying. Like I can go anywhere with this. So and that's how I feel like, you know, poetry is on its way to doing that. We just got to make sure that we continue to invest in that time and that effort and that energy, most importantly, because that energy, whatever, like, good energy you give something, it's going to come back tenfold, I feel. The same way with bad energy. You know, that's just like the law of attraction almost, you know? But, like, my thing is, so you said, like, build a community. Your mindset was that's your compensation. So what are the key things in that community, like, would you say, that you try to reach for or, you know, try to bring up when you have these events or when you started out versus now?
I can remember the first event I ever hosted, but a poet came to me one night and asked me in one of my events, how am I able to be so diverse? Like, how is it that I can have somebody as young as 18 and somebody as old as 80 years old in the same space and still enjoy? You know, because usually it's a separation, you know, and that's just being inclusive. That's just making everybody feel comfortable, you know, and that's what I reach for. And you got to be able to say, like, when you really look at it, when I say building community, like, this is our community. And I always speak on DC, and I'm from DC, but I see what's happening with gentrification in DC. Like, I don't feel like I'm wanted there. You know, if you're not at a certain financial status, you know, you're not wanted there. You can't afford to live here. It's what it is. Like we don't want your kind here. And when I say your kind, the working class. You know, I can't have a decent job and have a decent space and decent living here. I can't live here. What do you mean? So that's why I say, okay, I'm living in Prince George's County right now.
Right.
I'm going to do, because I know who built this city. You know, I know what events was rocking in D.C. and the reason people wanted to go to U Street and the reason people wanted to go to 8th Street. I know who built those venues and those events. It was us. It was my people. So it has nothing to do with the bricks. It's all about the people. So I take that same energy and that same creativity and I take it to my community and I show people like this is where we live. This is what we need to do to build our community. You know, we need to build our schools, our kids. When they coming out to these events, we need to support them. This is a black-owned business that we're doing this here. No matter how slow you think the food is coming, all right. So they've been feeding us poison from Chinese food for years and years and years. They've been giving us all these little convenience stores. They got all these tobacco shops and liquor stores they putting up in our neighborhoods, and they're not giving excellent service. But you let it slide. But you get a black community and the wings come a little bit slow.
And it's over.
It's over. You see what I'm saying? Come on now.
Write a negative review.
So we gotta hear that, man. We got, building a community definitely brings those generations together. Definitely brings those different sides together. And I think you do a phenomenal job with that with Nipsey, man. Like the times that we've been, there's always been. I never had a bad time. The time we came in and we came from London that day. We came and did our thing.
Yeah.
Even the time you asked us to feature that, and we featured, and
it was great energy, man.
Just the energy from every piece we did and every line. It was like everybody was zoned in.
It was almost like a reunion type feel, because you had different, like you said, you had different age brackets. You had people from different professions. Just sitting next to each other, vibing to the music, just in that atmosphere, and that's the community.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, right? How important is the message then in building that community? Because obviously you're a poet, as far as the message and people you have around you. Has anybody gone up there, or have you seen anybody as you built or established a certain space that completely gone off track? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the beauty in the art.
Yeah, okay.
That's the beauty in the art. I mean, art is art. And somebody might take something from this, but I wouldn't say nothing negative. It's not been like too much negative. Y'all saw firsthand. I don't mind addressing the crowd. I don't care. That's what it is. I don't mind addressing you. Like, look, we don't do that here. Maybe you probably your first time here, but we don't do that. We all positive energy here. But nothing out of hand. Normal stuff, and it's good. It's actually growing pains.
Yeah.
It's good to have that, because now you're reaching a totally different audience now, and that's another thing that you got to do when you want to grow. Like if you really want to grow, one of my things coming up when I was performing everywhere, I didn't go to the traditional spots.
Okay.
I didn't go to the busboys and poets. I didn't go perform those places. I was going to comedy shows. I was going to bars. I was going to karaoke nights, and they were loud. Disrespect, and they were just having a good time. They wanted a space for that, and that's what I did. I wanted to reach, because I didn't want to go preach to the choir. I didn't want to go and everybody know. I'm at Busboys. Everybody know. Everybody agreed, and I'm just preaching to the choir. We already knew that,
right?
So I'm going into my community.
Yeah.
I'm going into the hood. I don't care where I'm at.
You meet them where they are.
And I'm saying, look, this is what I do.
Yeah.
This is what I do. And I'm not knocking it. I mean, I trust me, I love DC. I'm always gonna love DC. But a lot of people ask me, why don't you do an open mic in DC, or why don't you put shows on in DC? And I say, well, because one, there's plenty of places in Maryland to do shows. I want this in my community as well. I don't want to have to leave where I live to go out to have a good time and do this. Why can't I have the same thing here?
Right.
That's another thing I enjoy too, because that's like, if I would have seen that when I first started, because I live up in Marlboro, so that's like, it's like stone's throw away, 10 minutes down the road. If I would have seen that when I started, man, I definitely would have been in there, you know, and been able to practice and grow and build, you know. So it's so many untapped spots in Maryland, and I think people are starting to realize that. You know what I mean? I think you're doing a great job at showing us that it's, you know, spots are man, we popping too, like in the city. People can come out here every second Thursday and, you know, do their thing and enjoy themselves, you know. I keep on thinking about the community aspect, man, because that's like the way that I'm on, as far as like building what we got going on. What Poet Life is about. So we're trying to keep everything going in motion. We had a question, and I want to take it back real quick for a second. About, you know, ticket sales. You said, you know, name your prices, just move on to your thing. If you like, someone asked, like, wouldn't it be better to take a percentage of ticket prices if you're just starting off? So if starting off Poet, is it better for them to take a percentage of ticket prices, ticket sales? Because some places do that. They say sell these tickets and you get the money off of that. Or they be like, hey, we're gonna give you,
for every 20 tickets we sell, we give you $50.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Is that cool?
That's cool. But see, I don't do that to the artist because I'm an artist. I want you to perform. I want you to put on a show. So if I ask you to feature, if I ask you to do anything for my brand, I believe in what you do. I believe you're going to get a crowd or great. I believe you should be paid. So I'm not going to ask you to sell. And don't get me wrong, I do appreciate anybody who shares, tags, reposts, helps me promote in any way that they do. I greatly appreciate it, and please continue to do so. But ultimately, it is my responsibility and the responsibility of my team to promote. That's how I feel, and that's how I was raised up in this, and that's how I believe. That's what I believe. I'm not gonna put the burden on you because I'm already asking you to perform. Now I'm putting the burden on you. In order for you to get paid, I need you to sell 20 tickets. Now I do want your people to come. I want them to come see you. I want that. But I don't want to make it a job on top of a job because I'm already paying you. Your job is to perform that night. That's what I'm paying you to do.
Right.
I'm not paying you to now. And promoters do it. Now if I did something like that, what I would do, I wouldn't do that to my artist, but I would do that to another promoter. I say, look, however many tickets you sell, you get this. And that's among the promoters.
Gotcha.
But the artist is the artist. You know, you shouldn't have to do that. I don't believe you should. You know, you sell 50 tickets and you get $100.
If the pressure is on, if they don't show up, then, you know.
Now you don't get paid and you still got to perform.
Right. And if the distance is involved, you know what I mean?
I don't believe in
Fork
that.
up that cash to go.
I don't believe in that.
Talk some mess, man.
That's really a gimmick to make some quick money. That's quick cash, you know. And I get approached by a lot of promoters who want to do open mics or they want me to come host, and when I name my price, they stop calling me. Because what they see is what you've already created. They don't know, and a lot. You'll hear this a lot. Hey man, can you host the event? I got a spot. I want you to host this event, man. So what they seeing is what you've done. Can you start next week? They don't know that I promoted before the opening night at Nipsey. They don't know that I promoted 6 months out. Just to get the buzz out of it, just to get it out there. But see, they don't care about that. So what'll happen is, say you agree to it, and typically this is what most business owners think about poetry. It'll be 15, 20 people here. You know, if 15, 20 people is a good crowd, maybe they'll buy a few drinks, and we'll do that long enough. We'll give you a Tuesday. You want a Tuesday, maybe a Wednesday, and we'll give you our dead nights to have something in here. Maybe it might pop. If it don't matter because it's dead anyway. 15, 20 people, maybe they'll buy a couple of drinks, get something to eat, and they'll be out their way. Close the doors early. You see what I'm saying? I don't operate like that because I put on productions. You see what I'm saying? I really need a Friday night. That's what I need. You know, that's what I believe. I really believe that. You know, because I believe in this art and I believe it's worth it. And That's how I'm going to promote it. Like, you need to come experience this. And I'm going to give my all in the promotions. And I'm going to pick the best features that I feel are going to do an amazing job. It's going to give you a great show. And you know you should pay for this.
Mm.
You know you should. You know, but this right here, like I was telling Chris earlier, this right here is a staple for the community. That is my plan for Nipsey's. Nipsey's is gonna always be free. Nipsey's gonna rock until Nipsey's don't do it no more. I want it to be a space for artists to come in town. You know, when you're traveling, you come home and say, look, I can go to Nipsey's. It's second Thursday, let me go up here and just get some good energy. Even if I don't want to perform tonight, just let me go get some good energy, get some love, and I can go on my way and be inspired like church. You know what I mean? Like, you come and you go get filled up real quick, and then you're going about your way. That's what Nipsey's gonna be, you know, and I'm sure that's how Orville feel about poetry, pure poetry. You know, that's a space, you know, because in business, you gotta have multiple streams of income anyway. You know, you're not gonna get paid all one. You're not gonna get rich off one stream of income. You know, so you gotta have multiple things coming and working for you in order for it. And that's why I talked about expanding, because it's always been more than poetry for me. You know, like, I'm getting ready to jump out of my comfort zone now. We getting ready to do a paint and sip night. Sit and paint, whatever you call it. We getting ready to do that with my house artist Dave. And I think it's gonna be big. My vision for it is gonna be really, really big. Now, you gotta pay to get into this.
Of course.
But my vision for it is gonna be great. It's gonna be live models to be painted. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be really nice. Yeah, and we're gonna be getting more information about that later on. I'm getting ready to do a brand release. I don't know if I should say party, but it's gonna be like a brand release. I've never actually introduced my brand properly to people. And this is gonna be like the first time where I say Just Me Entertainment. This is my brand release. This is what you can think. This is what you can expect from me. This is what my goal is, and this is what's coming up. This is what I do. The website and everything is coming. So yeah, we just trying to grow. Just trying to grow, man. Just growing. The Haiku T-shirt line is on its way.
Speaking of haikus, man. So what brought you to your attraction to writing haikus? Because I don't know too many people outside of you, Christoph, and E-Baby who just some monsters when it comes to haikus. Like, I know a few, but
hosting.
Yeah.
Hosting. I was hosting Just Wine, Cheese, and Poetry, and damn, I forgot his name. It's a poet. I forgot his name. I used to go to a spot at Sankofa bookstore. I forgot his name, man. Good brother, man. He was doing these haikus, and I was like, that's dope. So I just tried my hand at it, and I just started doing it. I think it was like in 2007.
Okay.
Or maybe 2007, 2008, around that time. And I was writing haiku so much, I was just writing like 10 a day. And then I was writing I wrote like one a day for an entire year. That's how I got my book, 365 Haiku. I wrote a haiku every day for a year. And I was just posting it every day and just getting a good response on them. And so I did it at the shows. I used to call them haiku commercials. So in between each act would come up, each artist, I would come up and say haiku commercial, and everybody would be like, all right, what you about to say now? So yeah, so that's how I got into the haikus, and I've been doing this ever since. Like, damn, it's 10 years now. So you can imagine how many haikus I have. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta trust the process, man.
Yeah, 10 years, man. All of a sudden you look up and you just the haiku king.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's beautiful, man. That's like inspiring in itself, just to sit at the table with somebody who really put in like time, and had the patience to not quit, and to just be like, all right, have them doors slammed in your face, have them people tell you no, but dang, that just made your pen that much stronger. Like, all right, cool, y'all say no, watch this.
Cause I can remember coming back to this area in 2005, and I went to Bus Boys, and it's like I evolved so much. Like I used to be straight Black Power, you know what I mean? Like that's how I was, right? So I was doing. I did my poem, got a great response, and it wasn't even a regular Bus Boys night. I think it was like maybe been a Friday night. I went up there. It was doing something special, and I was like, damn, I wonder how. You know, I'm trying to figure out how do I get into this scene? How do I get into? Because I was in Georgia doing it, and I'm like, how do I get back into the scene? And so, like I told you, I was going to bars. I was going to bookstores, and all was in the community. All Black-owned spots. I was going everywhere just doing stuff. So, but the poetry community isn't always as inviting.
What do you mean?
As people would think it is. It's a lot of negative energy. It can be a lot of negative energy depending on who you're dealing with. I experienced a lot of it. I ignored it. You know, I could have approached it in a totally different way, but it was okay. That is what it is. So I would try to get features. They would turn the features down. So my mindset is, all right, well, I'll just create a show myself and I'll feature myself. So that's what I did. So I just facilitate a show and then I'll feature, you know, and that's what I did. So I created a space and people started coming to that space. So I'm like, that's what I wanted to do. That was my goal. And it's crazy because I remember looking at some of these stamp solidified poetry spots in the area, and I'm like, damn man, I'm gonna feature that one day. And Bus Boys being one of them, and I look up now, and I done featured at every Bus Boys in this area multiple times. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, that's all right. That's like a accomplishment on your poetry. Yeah. You know, it's like I featured at all of these Bus Boys multiple times. So I would tell anybody, like, if you want to do it, no matter what you feel somebody is not feeling you or they're hating on you, if you trust the process and believe in God, man, you're gonna walk right up to that stage, whatever your stage may be. Nobody is gonna stop you. Nobody. I don't care what, like, it's gonna be people trying to block you from whatever. And if you don't get that opportunity, I always believe that opportunity might not have been for you. Okay. You know, that might not have been for you. It may be something bigger for you. Yeah. That might not be your lane. Because there's been situations where I felt like I wanted to do certain things. And I'd be like, damn, why didn't I get this opportunity? I feel like I've been putting the work in. Why did I deserve this opportunity right here? First off, if I really sit back, I didn't put the work in to get that opportunity. Okay. See, I got to look at myself first. Did I really grind? Did I really put the work in? Am I really prepared for this opportunity? Because I've gotten opportunities I wasn't prepared for. And I've had bad shows. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got to be careful what you ask for, and when you ask for it, make sure you're prepared for it because it's coming sooner than later. You say you want this, okay, well, you're going to get your opportunity. You ask for it, you know what I mean? So always be prepared. Like preparation is key. Like I've had some bad shows. Yeah, and it might not be bad to somebody else, but to me, I'd be like, oh, that was 50%.
Yeah.
Yo, I can't believe that, you know, and I know those, because what happened is you get a lot of people who follow your work, and I'm an artist first, and I'm like, I always want to give my best, especially when it comes to this, because that's how much I care about it, and it's like, damn, I know they had to notice that wasn't what I do. You know, they might not even know, but it's just me being an artist. Like, yeah, I wish I need a do-over. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to get that. So you just grow from it. You move on. You just grow from it. You learn from it, and you keep growing and keep moving and keep getting better. Like, always get better. You can always learn from somebody. You know, always. I'm always like watching different hosts, and I'm watching their style. And I'm watching things that they do to grab the crowd. You know, I'd be like, yo, that was real dope. I like how he got them on that one. You know, that was cool. I like that. You know, and I'm always, you know, because being a host, you got to think quick on your feet. you got to take control of that crowd, and you got to keep them people entertained, you know, and you got, because it can get, if you can't drive that car, it can get out of control real fast, you know, to the point where they be looking like, okay.
Where you going with this?
Well, before it started, how can they keep the crowd's attention?
And I was listening to earlier, you got to be you. You got to be you. Because what'll happen, right, you'll see poets come up and you be like, damn, they really feeling him. So what'll happen? You'll start thinking, I got to be him to get them. Nah, they came here to hear you. That's him. That's how he did it. Now do it how you do it.
Gotcha.
You know, you need a variety. People love variety. People don't want the same thing over and over again. Why do you think certain artists that are like, that's like saying, somebody might say, oh, that used to be a good song. No, it's still a good song. It's just an old song now. You know what I mean? Like, people want to hear variety. They want new. They want to hear you. You don't get, you know, just stay consistent. Yeah, as far as like, you know, I need to do a workshop on like, and I was supposed to start doing something like that, like do a workshop on like actually like performing and like, cause you have different artists. You got some people who wordplay, you got some people who content, energy, delivery, whatever, you know, you have different artists and they have their strengths. And you got to find what your strength is. And whenever things get rocky, guess what you do? You go to your strength. You know, if you're a boxer and your strength is that hook, when things get rocky, you looking to get that hook off, you know?
Yeah.
Because you know that's going to get you out of deep water.
Yeah.
So just know what your strength is, man. Just focus on that. And that's what I do. You know, and I'm all, like I said, always look to get better and try to find something and learn something from somebody at all times. Like, all poems, all poetry comes from life experiences. So that's what I do. Like, I might have a conversation with you right before I go on stage. And that's exactly what I'm about to use when I'm on stage. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that quick. That's just that quick conversation, and you might be looking like, damn, we just was talking about this shit. Yeah, that inspired me to get up here. You just gave me some material, and I'm gonna use to keep this show going.
Are you satisfied with your career so far?
Never satisfied.
Okay.
Never satisfied.
Well, I felt that coming up.
Never satisfied. Always want more.
You talking about expanding, they talking about, you know, workshops and everything. Okay. It's a lot of expansion.
You talking about satisfaction. What is that?
Always
satisfaction.
Nah.
Always want
Nah, that's real though, man. So like, is there like a topic, or are there some topics where you feel as though that your strength, you know, like we just talking about that. So
I feel like over time my strength has become like love and different love issues. I feel like that's been my like, just being able to just, I don't know, just being able to just relate a message in a different type of way so people can understand it and where it's coming from, and then making it entertaining at the same time. You know, making you be able to laugh, you know, feel emotional, you know, it's just, I feel like that's been my strength here lately.
Got you. And then it comes from just like perspective or just paying attention?
Just paying attention.
I feel that.
Just paying attention.
Yeah.
You know, that's what art is. You just pay attention. You just always, even if you might not speak on it, you're aware of it. You know, you just, and see, y'all kind of young, right? Y'all know who Fabo is?
Yeah.
So I always talk, like when I get somebody like young, and I always say, yo, who Fabo? And they be like, I don't know. And I be like, so that line Drake said, it just sound good to you. You don't even know what you're talking about. Snapping like you Fabo. They don't even know what that means. So when I explain to them what it is, they be like, oh, I said, so it means that much. It means something now, right? Now you get it. You see what I'm saying? Like that's art. You know, and that's him being aware and him paying attention. And like, even though he delivered it well, a lot of people don't even know who Fabo is. You see what I'm saying? Fabo was out here in 2003.
Yeah.
All they know is he's snapping like he Fabo.
Yeah,
Who was
Who's
Fabo?
Fabo? Yeah.
You know? But they know D4L, but they don't know Fabo. You see what I'm saying? And stuff like that, man. I'm just into the art, man. I love wordplay, and I love to see other people perform and how they put it down, and their different energies, and how they connect with the crowd. It's all about entertainment, man. It's all about entertainment, because if you're entertained, it's easier to relay a message. When you relax somebody,
That's real.
and they're having a good time, it's easier to get that message across, man. You know?
I like that. That's good, man. So like outside of, you know, getting that energy from other people, what else would you say, you know, helps you adapt to that mindset that you get, or you have to put yourself in order to write, in order to perform, because you really, I mean, I think we all really just want to deliver like countless and countless of bars, and however it is delivered or what would the topic be, but you know, you got that energy that you bringing off or you getting off from people, but sometimes, and you need more than that. So there's like a special like thing that you do, something that you gotta listen to or read or.
I get inspired when I go to open mics.
Hmm.
I get inspired when I see, you know, open mics and looking at different artists, and not even going to perform, just really going to just enjoy.
Right.
You know, I get inspired by conversation. You know, just sitting here kicking it. Like right now, this is my inspiration. Just sitting here kicking it and just, that's how I get, that's my inspiration. I don't really need to hit, I mean, some music will help, but just more, just interacting and conversation. That's my biggest inspiration. You know, getting your point of view from something, and seeing how you, and that's just building energy. That's just building a community. That's what we doing right now. We building. You know, somebody gonna watch this this live, and they gonna be like, yo, you know what I mean? So you inspiring somebody right now, and they're not even in the room with you right now. You know, and you inspiring somebody. Like the only difference between you and Jay-Z or somebody who may be on another level is the fact that they have a bigger network. It don't have nothing to do with money. They just got a bigger network. Like your content is the same.
Yeah. And it's just like, wow, man. It's hard not to compare, especially if you feel as though that you giving your all, and you see like somebody else is just, you know, and you respect their art.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you gotta compete with them or anything, but then you get to that mindset, especially if it's no movement in what you're doing. Like, man, how they get there? Like, what they do different? Who they know that I need to get introduced to?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not necessarily who that specific person knows. It's like you being able to be so consistent that person has to wants to know you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I feel like that'll build you up even more, and it'll build your confidence up more to be like, okay, well, if he's paying attention, I need to give him some more to pay attention to. Just like the Jay-Z scenario, you know, you got the Dame Dash who's doing the business side.
Mm-hmm.
They can't switch sides and be like, all right, Dame Dash, hop on the stage and just do what I do. You need that, you know, that atmosphere of people that's gonna be like, okay, well, I got some people that I need you to meet.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think you would, you know, really benefit if you come here and, you know, deliver your art over here versus, you know, always going to these venues. And there's nothing wrong with having a home base of venues that you frequent with.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always good, you know, I feel as though that if somebody brings you into a different atmosphere, you don't know who you're going to meet and who they know.
Mm-hmm.
Because they might know people that, you know, mix between the same atmosphere that you're used to versus the ones that you never thought you would see yourself performing in. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy. And just the evolution of, you said it yourself, like you was like starting out just about like Black Power and all this, that, and the third, and now your lane right now that you really mastering and shaping in is that love lane.
Mm-hmm.
Just from what you looking at and what you observing
Mm-hmm.
through conversation. That's big. Cause somebody, you know, either listening to this or, you know, watching this right now, it's like, man, I'm trying to evolve too. But I just don't know how to do it. I'm stuck almost.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough. That's tough.
You definitely got to just do it. That's the biggest thing. That's the fear.
Yeah.
That's the fear. And I'm speaking for myself. the fear of just doing it and just saying, you know, because as an artist, you know, I have so many writings, and it's like, man, do I want to put that out? I don't want to, because you care. You care about this, and you care how people receive it, and you care what people think, and that's just being an artist. But I mean, at a certain point, man, you got to put it out there, because like for example, like some of the reviews from Drake's album, it's not good, but he's an artist, and you gotta make yourself vulnerable. When every time you get on stage, you're vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know, you making yourself vulnerable. That's half the battle. That's why people look at you like, wow. Because first off, you're doing something most people fear.
Right.
And that's getting on stage. And then you're vulnerable. You're giving your all. You're giving yourself to people. That's not an easy task. It's hard to sit and talk to a therapist one-on-one. Mm-hmm. So imagine getting on stage and just leaving and releasing yourself in front of complete strangers for the most part. You know?
That's scary sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just a jump, man.
Yeah. Heart pumping before a show. You know. Host come over to you, be like, "You ready?"
You like,
And you like, yeah. You ain't got no choice but to say you ready, because you're going next, whether you ready or not.
Right.
You know, you got them. It's you, and you just go out there and you just go. You know, that's the fear, and that's anything in business. When you want to start something, you want to start a business. We got time to quick story. You got time?
Yeah, we can.
So I do a lot of research, right? And I do a lot of case studies, and I got that from college. I majored in business. So I was reading. Anybody go to Ruth Chris Steakhouse? Y'all read about it? Y'all went? So it's supposed to be like one of the top steakhouses, right? So I read about how Ruth Chris was started. And it opened my eyes, and it gave me a different perspective on business and why things are the way they are. So her name was Ruth Fertel, I believe, and she was a single mom. She was reading the paper and looking in the ads, and she saw a steak business for sale. She mortgaged her house to get the money. She was a single mom, I believe, of 3. She mortgaged her house as a single mother of 3 children, mortgaged her house to buy Chris Steakhouse.
don't know nothing more.
Knowing nothing about steak business. While she did that, she learned everything about cooking the steak, broiling, frying, sauteing, anything she can learn about it. She learned it and perfected that craft.
Yeah.
The steakhouse burned down. She couldn't take the name Chris Steakhouse anywhere else. So what did she do? She added her first name to that, Ruth Chris,
Yeah.
and moved, and the rest is history. You see what I'm saying? So, but now it's a big deal. You gonna take your lady to Ruth Chris.
Ruth Chris.
You see what I'm saying? But it had to start from somewhere.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Just like Gucci. Why everybody want Gucci? Why Gucci cost so much? Gucci Guccio started off from making leather goods for luggage. That was his infatuation. He loved luggage. He used to work on a ship or something. He saw all the nice luggage people have, so he started making his own luggage.
Wow.
That's how he started.
Yeah.
Everything come from somewhere. Like, it's just that consistency that you got to keep. Like, one day, you got to believe that one day somebody's going to be paying a lot of money for you. You're not going to be keeping, nobody, they're going to be, they're not even going to have the nerve to want to pay you in exposure. Imagine somebody going to Jay-Z right now and saying, yeah, man, you can get, man, you're going to meet a lot of people. You never know where this may take your career.
Right.
He's like, huh?
Man, you're not even going to get on the phone, man.
Yeah.
You're not getting the call back. Matter of fact, you might get sent to some type of, you can't even dial this number again. You know? But I'm not saying exposure isn't good, because it's always good.
Yeah.
The bigger your network, the bigger your net worth. Exposure is good, but you have to have worth in what you do. You got to believe that one day, this is going to be what I do for a living.
If you can, could you give us like 3 principles?
What I stand by is you got to have respect, and not just for people, but for yourself. One of the things I always say in any business where entertainment is involved. And I'm sure you know, two nice looking young men, y'all get a lot of advances or a lot of opportunities with the ladies, right?
Okay.
And I always tell people this, man. It may look fun, it may look cool. Somebody on the outside looking in, oh man, you see her, man, oh, I'm trying to, it ain't worth your brand, man. That good time ain't worth your brand. Have respect for yourself. Because part of the reason that they here to see you is because they respect you. Once you lose that respect, you don't have nothing else to stand on, man.
Wow.
You know?
Okay. Okay.
You know?
Man.
Okay. An older guy told me a long time ago when I was performing at this show, he said, if you get with all your fans, you won't have none. Everybody can get in free now because they're your girl. You know what I'm saying? Think about that.
Yeah.
You know, Roman's respect. You definitely gotta, as far as like, you gotta have a good work ethic, and you got, and not just a work ethic. You gotta work smart. You gotta work. You gotta have a direction. You gotta know a focus, or what you can't just say, because anybody can go to work and just work 80 hours. Okay, what did you do?
Yeah, what
You know,
exactly.
what did you accomplish in that 80 hours? Okay, you was here for 80 hours. What can you say you did in 80 hours?
Wow.
So have that work ethic, but have that focus to say, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm working towards. And you will see it come, and you will see it start happening right before your eyes. And another thing is, the third one is, my brother Monday Night, right? He always say,
Shout out to Monday.
shout out to bruh. Look, he always say, he come to my house and be like, yo, you went to college? I be like, yeah. He be like, where your degree at? I'm like, it's on the closet, man. He said, come on, man, why it ain't hanging up? At a certain point, you're going to be moving so fast. You're going to be moving shows, books, CDs, albums, studios, podcasts, workshops. You can be moving, and then you need to sit down and say, and take the time and enjoy and appreciate what you've already accomplished, man. Because at that point, your wheels just turning. You're not going nowhere, because you got to sit back and put your accomplishments on the wall and say, you know what, man, we did good this week. We did good this month. We did good last year or this year. So now you can set a standard, like, we did this. Now let's go to the next level. Because if you don't never appreciate it, if you don't ever see what you've done, you don't know what the next level is.
True.
You're going to keep on doing the same thing over and over again. Where's the next level at? You don't even remember. And that's me. I can't, sometimes I sit back and be like, oh, I remember when we did that. Oh, that was dope. That's because I'm moving, and not taking the time to say, you know, I have 3 books.
3.
I never took the time to sit back and say, you know what, I got 3 books.
Wow.
To the point where people come ask me, how do I start or how do I write a book? And I'm more than glad to show you step by step how to do this. Because I know how to do it now. I remember writing my first book. I was in college. And I was like, man, this stuff seems so hard.
But now it just,
Now it's like, I know how to do it, man. Step by step. This is so easy, man.
Right.
I know to show you how to copyright. That's all you got to do. You know, you email your copyright, your material, and as soon as they get it, it's already copyrighted. As soon as they get the payment, it's already copyrighted. It's protected. About 6 months or something later, or you'll get a letter in the mail. You protect it for 100 years after your death. That's the stuff you just learn just by doing it, you know, over and over again.
That's what's up, man.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Let's go ahead and get it in, man. So we do the thing where we go around and say a little something, you know what I mean? Give a little piece and whatnot. We're gonna do that and we're gonna close it out with that.
Nope.
So how you wanna do this, man? Who wanna start this thing off, man? Alright, so let's get it.
One of the hardest things for me to do was look a mother in the eyes crying at the funeral of her only son. Crime scene compared to Vietnam War. His mother asking, what did my son die for? Me too embarrassed to admit, I can't remember what it was about. Another senseless death by a gun. Shots rang out. None of them meant for him, but you know my mother would always say, bullets ain't got no name on it. Me covered in fears, I looked down at my shirt with my friend's brains on it. Years after, street corner still covered with permanent blood stains on it. Pictures of that day never to wash away from my memory, but nothing compared to his mother's misery. Wishing I was dead too, I mean, this ain't no way for a kid to live. Me being young and confused, not really knowing how to mourn, thinking there's got to be more I can give, so I sit and plot retaliation, believing I was handling biz, the mindset of somebody got to lose their life in exchange for his. Naive to my ignorance, but at the time it made perfect sense. Looking for a way to release the pain I felt in my heart, and the only way I knew was through violence. Ever since I could remember. Rest in peace t-shirts of slain family members and friends. Elders crying out in frustration saying, when this mess gon' end? Neighborhood beefs being passed on to me from generations before that I knew nothing about. Started by our fathers whom we knew nothing about. Taken for granted precious moments spent together, not realize they can be taken away so easy. I mean, this type of life looks so damn cool on TV. Not knowing why, just knowing I killed that nigga if need be. Built up anger, so I turned to drugs to grieve. But never once did I drop to my knees and ask God to guide and cover me because the streets was my religion. Subconsciously believing that this be my position. 15 preparing to die, think about 21. I should be done living, and besides, I'd rather be dead than in prison. I stand guard for my own. I dare anybody to disrespect my building. It might sound sad, but in reality, this be the mentality of our children. They cry out for help. But we act like we be too busy to listen, so I be their voice, because I was able to change my position, see. I made it out, but so many others didn't. Now I find myself visiting graveyards and prisons.
Nothing after that.
Peace, man. I'm J. Rod D.
And I'm G,
Tune
man.
into the Poor Life Podcast, man.
If you ain't
Just
done it
me.
by now, subscribe.